Shame.
now?
Y'all did tell her like I have a channel too. She should follow
Yes.
me, right?
Oh yeah.
Is being sent to a third party, which means it's live. Okay. Do you thing, Eddie?
And
I'll be
we
quiet. Y'all did tell her like I have a
um,
channel.
let me you know what? I gotta turn it down.
Being sent. I gotta refresh so I can get to the live.
What did I do? Just exit. Did I really?
Did you just exit your own live?
I think I did. Let me see. Okay,
Um,
go back. How the heck did I do that?
I don't know. What did you do?
Well, you know what? It really won't matter because what I can do is
Are you there, Boomer?
Yeah, we're here.
He went live and I don't know what he did.
I double
It's live, is what it is.
I double click.
Like there's people in the chat.
I,
Sorry.
please forgive me in the chat. I am trying to find myself.
Uh,
Uh,
Yeah, I spent the last 55 years doing that.
there. Okay, I do apologize. I found myself. How's everybody doing tonight? Pink Punk, how are you doing? And she's in Tokyo. I want to give a shout out to Pink Punk. Christina's son is here. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the UK and in New Zealand and Australia who has been watching us. So huge
all around the
shout out to
world.
you. Thank you so much for being part of our family. We really do appreciate you being here. And today, as y'all see, our guest is none other than Boomer D. How you doing, Boomer?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
So, I'm gonna just go right off the cuff. Hello, Regina. And I'm gonna go right off the cuff. Basically, just start off with how did you get started into the paranormal? And later, we're gonna talk about your artwork because there's a
Oh,
lot of people
okay.
that probably don't know that you do that.
Well, we kind of both started at the same time. Yeah. So, um, I didn't get into the paranormal. The paranormal pretty much chose me. It all started when I was very young, around 5, 6. When I just before I entered preschool, um, I started noticing certain things. The first thing I noticed, and to back up a little bit, or actually, I'm backing myself up, but we're skipping ahead to what I've learned about it today. I've learned I possess all the Claire abilities. Okay. If you don't know what they are, Google it. Just Google Claire abilities. CLAR, no, CLAIR. All right, the Claire's abilities.
Right.
Um, I apparently have them all, which I discovered over time. Bringing us up to today. So now backtracking. The first experience I had with, as far as my gift, before I got like into paranormal itself and started, you know, doing things with it or whatever. Uh, I was about 5 or 6, like I said, when I started noticing like weird, like for some reason, I always felt um distant from everybody, but yeah, I was always feeling these emotions that I knew I shouldn't have had. Like, I mean, you can't feel two opposite emotions at the same time, traditionally. All right. So that was kind of weird. So that sent me into like the spiral of, the labeled the dysfunctional child, whatever.
Mhm.
And because that apparently I had it all listed up. I should have it's kind of like it's the same thing as empath. I think it's Claire empathy or something like that,
Right.
where I was picking up emotions from people. But I'm 5. I don't know what's going on. My parents didn't know what was going on. I had just been diagnosed. I didn't find this out till later in my life as well. I was just diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. So everybody kind of labeled it off from that. If you don't know what Tourette syndrome is, it's actually easier to Google it than to ask me. Um, so I was going through I went through a whole mess of shit growing up, all through my childhood because of it. Um, I didn't have my real first encounter with something almost paranormal. It still relates to my abilities. I was about 8 or 9,
Right.
and my father and I were standing in line at the bank, and there was this lady in front of us. We're both behind her. I'm standing next to my dad. And I just I started getting overwhelmed by sorrow.
Hmm.
And something told me it was coming from this individual in front of me. I'm 9 years old, not understanding what's going on. I look at my dad and I was like, Dad, why is this woman so sad? Because I felt the feeling of a loss, like I had lost someone either to death or something.
Right.
And the lady turned around and said, "Excuse me, what'd you say?" And immediately, like, my dad shut it down. Boom. Like, oh, don't mind him. He's, just going on or whatever. I can't remember the exact dialogue. It was 50 years
Hmm.
ago. But yeah, so it started with that. Now, I didn't start delving into paranormal as far as I never really did a deep research on things anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but I started to learn about certain aspects of it later on in my life. Um, so my first active um introduction to it was I was in my late teens, early 20s, living with a relative in this bungalow area in a very rural type area. And I had just gotten home from work. And uh it was late at night. Um, so I'm coming home from work. My cousin's leaving for work. We both work the same place, different shifts. And I'm outside on the front steps smoking a cigarette. And this was about 2 or 3 months before I entered the service. And that's
Hmm.
when things started really slowing down with it. But I'm outside and I look across the street and I see this girl, like, looks like she's walking up the road. And I knew there was the high school was about 3 or 4 miles down the
Hmm.
road, I think, if I remember right, if not further. And it seemed kind of odd because here it is, middle of November. All right. Halloween was nearly a month ago. So this girl's walking up the street in like this 50s garb, like poodle skirt, fluffy sweater, like the whole 9 yards. Like, so I'm thinking, well, maybe they had a costume party or something at the school and she's walking home, didn't have a ride or whatever. And I
Hmm.
knew like the next house closest to us, um, was at least 5 miles the other way down the road in the direction she was just kind of walking.
Hmm.
And I'm like, so, and we had this real long driveway from the house to the road, about 100 yards at least. Well, maybe 75. So I'm like, all right, let me go see if this girl needs a ride home or something. So I start walking up the driveway, and all of a sudden, I look up and she's gone. I'm like, where the hell she go? Run off into the woods or something? Like, that was weird. Now I'm like, you just worked a double shift. I was working in a printing press at the time. So, there's all kinds of like chemicals in the air there. So I'm thinking maybe I'm just like, my mind's just playing tricks on me.
Right.
So I disregard it, splash my cigarette, going, lay down and get a quick nap because they had me doing a first shift um the next day. So I wanted to grab a couple hours. So I don't go to my bedroom. I just lay down on the couch and, get a quick, catnip, whatever. And I hear this little mousy voice. You saw me, didn't you? I'm like, I thought I was dreaming. I was just about in Zealand, and I hear this voice. You saw me, didn't you? I kind of perk up a little bit. Nothing's around. Like, so I thought I was dreaming it, imagining it. It says, why are you ignoring me? I know you saw me. So I shot right up in the same position, turn around, there's nobody there. I'm like, hello? Like for a minute there, I thought my cousin left a visitor in his room or something. I'm thinking he had a visitor that he just left at our fucking apartment. I'm like, hello, is somebody over there? Like speaking, I'm talking to his like bedroom door or whatever. Like, is somebody in there? And I hear, what are you doing? I'm right here. And all of a sudden, this misty um silhouette of the girl appears. I didn't see her the way I saw her outside. To me, it almost looked like an actual person, but it was just a mistiness, and I could hear her in my head. And we started this dialogue, and um, went through and the first mistake anybody will make is let a spirit know they're dead. Um, don't spring it on them like that, because after a minute or so of conversation with her, I announced it. I'm like, but you're dead.
Right.
And she goes, well, no, because she told me a story about they had a dance at the school. Her friends were supposed to take her home, but she thought her friends left her. Well, what it turns out to be is her and four other friends were driving home from the school dance,
Right.
and you lost control of the vehicle and hit a tree. It happened to be across the street from our house, and she was ejected through the windshield and was killed instantly.
Oh, man.
So after clearing all that up and everything, she's calmed down. Oh yeah, I forgot. I said it like all of a sudden the room went like frigid cold, and the table. You know those old 70s style type furniture where it's made out of fucking 2x4, excuse
Yeah.
me, bumps made out of 2x4s and stuff, got those big fat cushions,
Yes.
the arm walls or whatever have 'em. The arm wall, which I call a coffee table, shifted at least 6 inches. It pivoted
Wow.
6 inches from the sofa. And I'm like, whoa, 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 hang on. Like, and finally she calms down and we have this dialogue. And all I remember things I've seen on TV with psychic mediums, things like that, like how they deal with spiritual stuff. So I just kind of use that as a guideline. And I explained to her, I was like, well, is there a look around? Do you see bright light? Blah, 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 things like that. And like, is there a tunnel of light? Look up through the tunnel of light and see if there's somebody at the other end.
Right.
And apparently it was either her grandfather or grandmother. She noticed. It's like, are they reaching out for you? And she says, yes. And I'm like, go with them. That's your new home. That's where you belong now. Go be with your family. And as soon as I said that, the room started to come to normal temperatures and everything, and I felt this heavy release. And I'm like, I guess that was my first crossover. I crossed over. I couldn't believe it. I didn't tell anybody about that. Like, I never told anybody about my abilities until about almost 10 years ago. 2015, when I did that little investigation at my cousin's house. It was only maybe a year before that I let people in on what I was all about. And so that's when I got started. That's what started me with paranormal. But after that, because I joined the service, so my life was total like chaos during that time. I got married while I was in the service, had children, got out of the service, was still married with children for about 6 years after that, 5 years after that. So for the span of almost 7 years, my life was like gone nonstop. I had
Right.
no time for it. Like I couldn't even take time to think about what was going on with the voices. I just had other things to focus on. So it wasn't until my marriage fell apart and I lost my job and my life almost came to a standstill that things started coming back to me.
Right.
So that's in a nutshell. That's how I got started.
Pink Punks said, so interesting. And that is interesting. Jason Finch, so glad to see you. Thank you for
Oh,
being here. Um, so did you when you first had your first experience, how did you feel? I mean, was it like
Awkward,
it was awkward?
weird, like alone. I felt like a an outcast. Like I didn't realize there were other people out there like me. I mean, I knew of psychic mediums and things like that, but not to
Mhm.
that extent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um, like I said, I possess all the clairs because I can hear them, see them, I can smell things, taste things, and stuff like that. So I
Right.
possess all the clair abilities, apparently, which I discovered over the last few years.
Hmm.
What they're
And
all
see, that's what
about.
I believe in. I
So,
believe in your senses first because your senses never steers you wrong.
right.
You know, so I agree with you, especially on the senses right there. You know,
Hmm.
taste and smell and sense, just sense. But because people get that saying, you get a bad vibe off of someone.
Right. That
You know,
sixth sense
yes, that's
is,
part of your
yeah.
senses. So yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Was you gonna tell me you had something recently you wanted to tell me?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can tell that one. All right. So jumping ahead 50 years. Um, last week, not the 17th,
Right.
Friday the 17th, I had an appointment in Bath at the Bath Hospital for a reevaluation. Um, um, not inspection. Not quite physical, but you know how they test like your range of motion, like for my bit. Anyway, irrelevant. All right, so I'm there. All right, and we just walk into the doctor's office. So I'm going into the doctor's office. He's following me. He closes the door behind us. I go to the right to sit down. He goes to the left to go to his desk. So before he even gets to his desk, I sit down, and to the right of me on the wall, it's one of those walls that has the little that pops out like there's a chimney in, like it may be, enclosing a chimney work. So it's about this wide, where he had a
Mhm.
wall clock. And no sooner I sat down, that wall clock like jumped. The only word that I can use is jumped off the fucking wall because it
Mhm.
didn't fall straight down. The nail was still intact. So the nail didn't give out and just let it fall. It didn't drop. It flew off the wall and landed in front of me on the floor, face up, 3.5 feet away from the wall.
Really?
That was at a doctor's office. Now, mind you, that building, it's in Bath, the VA hospital in Bath, New York, is one of the oldest buildings in that city. It used to house Civil War patients and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And they got the cemetery up behind it and everything. So, I mean, the funny part was like when he turns around and he looks kind of slightly bewildered and he says, I just hung that up there because I had to set the hour hand. I just hung that up there. And I'm like, And, you know, and he looks up to make sure the nail was still on the wall, and it was because he
Mhm.
drew my attention to it. I looked at it. That nail was in the wall, but the somehow that clock got plucked off and onto the floor. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
So I definitely, and I even made the remark, oh, must be something paranormal, you know. And the doctor just kind of he picks the clock up, puts it on the shelf like he's gonna mess, you know, he'll mess with that deal later, you know. I'll fuck with that,
Right.
kind of thing. And then we just went on to do my, uh appointment,
Right.
and that was it. It was like I
That's crazy.
without warning. It literally jumped off the wall. Both of us were at least, I was at least, like I said, 3.5 to 4 feet away from that wall. He was
Right.
standing up probably 5 feet away from the wall on his way to his desk, and he just picked it up and then we went on with the appointment. So that's the most recent uh experience that I've had.
That's crazy, man. Because, Jen is the same way. She picks up on a lot of stuff too, especially when we're out together. And it blows my mind because I tell people I'm not a sensitive, but Jen and my
All
daughter
right.
is. And Jen's got some crazy senses. And sometimes her senses just drive me crazy.
All right.
How about now, do you still talk to like your family members and what do they feel about you?
My We don't really talk about it. The only one I've ever really talked about it with is my mom and my one niece, who's one of the daughters of my sister who passed away 4 years ago. The oldest one of them three. Um, I talk about it with them, but since they've moved out of town, like I don't really have anybody to talk to about it. But my oldest sister won't have nothing to do with it. Like she's not in denial of it or anything like that. She just, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. I don't, even if it's a comedy spoof to something paranormal or supernatural, she won't have nothing to do with it. It's all taboo to her.
Yeah, it is
But the
people
sister
like
I
that.
mentioned, my youngest sister, the one that passed away, we can sit and talk about it all the time. Matter of
Hmm.
fact, before she passed away, like because they lived in the other section down the street and around the block from this section.
Hmm.
And they lived in one of those apartments. That's where she passed away at. She actually had a child spirit follow her from the city we used to live in out to here to the first apartment she was in this section, and then followed her from that apartment to the apartment she moved into in the old section. We called him Jay. That was his name for us. So with the introduction of Jay, I mean, her and I could talk about paranormal shit all the time
Right.
without a problem. She knew my gifts. The only other family now that knows about it is my cousins, the one I had to go do that investigation for.
Hmm.
Um, and That's about it. Like my dad doesn't, well, now he wouldn't know what the fuck we were talking about anyway. But like even like growing up, there was nobody to talk to.
Right.
Because I didn't realize my mom like had anything to do it until just a few years ago. So
Hmm.
growing up, I had nobody to talk to about it. Even though everybody in our family experienced an event in the house we grow up in,
Right.
but nobody really talked about it. It was taboo conversation, especially with dad around. He didn't want to discuss it. He didn't want to talk about it, and he witnessed it. And my little brother, who was probably the biggest, at the time, biggest skeptic I know, when it happened to him, it was like that's hearing their story because I was away from home when it happened to them. And I didn't find out it. People didn't start coming to me with what was going on in that room until I had my experience years later, you know?
Right.
Because when I first came back from Indiana, I was staying with my parents at the home I grew up in, um, staying in that room
Mm-hmm.
where all this shit happened, which nobody let me in on until I experienced it. And then as soon as I experienced something, everybody started telling me about all the shit that went on over the years that I knew nothing about the whole time I was away from home. Because I moved out of home in 89. No, 91 is when I joined the service. Well, I moved out of the house before that, but I was still in town. Still see. But I I left home when I joined the service in 91. So, and I got married. So I was away from home for about 7 years. That whole downtime for me,
Right.
um, I was away from home. So I knew nothing about all this shit that was going on until it happened to me in 2003 when I came back home from Indiana.
Right.
Um, because after my wife left and everything, I went out to Indiana, and tried to start a life there, and it didn't work out. So I had my experience in that room, and then everybody started saying, "Oh yeah, by the way," I'm like, "Oh, you could have fucking said something earlier." I mean, come on, like, sorry for the f bombs.
It's all good. I
Anyway,
mean, one of the things I want you to be on this show
Is
is
yourself.
yourself. Just because I don't use Jen's got
well,
the potty
I
mouth.
I
also
have a potty
I
gotta,
mouth.
don't.
I want to be respectful that uh, that this is your house, this is your channel, your house. You're, trying
Right.
to.
I have a potty mouth, so yeah.
Um, Otherwise, I'd be sitting here in my underwear and no shirt. So,
Hey,
and you don't
that's
want me to be me. um,
Before we go
anyway,
on, I want to say hello to Brenda Hall, the mail show. Melissa, so glad that you are here. To Miss Donna Cantor, thank you so much for being here. We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. We really do appreciate it. And now, after you. Hey, don't let me bore you. I'm here all week.
oh no, it's all good. I'm just a little drained because I did about an hour and a half
Oh, really?
live stream just before this. I did
Oh,
like an announcement live stream. Like I did a live stream to remind people that you were doing this live stream tonight.
yeah,
Whether it had been at your friend's house or here, I
yeah.
wanted to remind people, look, Ed and Jen are gonna be live tonight, so hope y'all are there. Because I still wasn't sure if you were
Yeah,
doing that thing with your friend or not. So
people want to know why I don't post when we're going live, and I'm gonna reiterate it again because my time, I have bad timing. If I say I'm gonna go live at 7:30, it doesn't end up being
yeah,
until 8. Or if I say 8:30, it ends up being 9. So I'm bad with time. So that's why I
right.
don't post it until the last minute. I just boom, we're right there. I'm
Yeah, I
just
get
really
it.
bad with time because I'm always working and doing other things.
Right.
Most of the time I'm working on my music, and then the
Right.
rest of the time with Jen and we're working with the
Right.
boys,
No.
and so I'm always doing something. And so I'm just really
Yeah.
bad with time.
Well, today
I'm
we were
sure we all understand.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were supposed to
you know,
went with
because
over our friend Christie's,
Manny's not having a
but
good day.
Manny is not having a good day today. So
oh,
we had to cancel that
yeah.
out.
I
Um,
I wouldn't mind if you had to postpone if you're having, if you had
oh
to.
no. It's just
I,
that because we was gonna do the live spirit box session at her house,
mhm.
and it's great
Oh,
going to
okay.
her house and she has a
Right.
beautiful home. And we were gonna
Oh,
go there and do a live spirit box session again, but Manny wasn't having it.
He's having one of his rough
It's
days.
one of his rough days, and if a
right.
lot of you out there, if you don't know, our son Manny is severely autistic. He has mild cerebral palsy. He also has epilepsy,
But
and
aggressive behavior.
plus he's was it cerebral palsy? And so
Right.
when he has a bad mood, he tends to take it out on anything that's around him.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
the last thing I wanted him to do was
Just
go
break her
over
stuff.
and break her stuff. So it was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess we have to cancel this out,
Oh.
but now he's
Well,
fine.
maybe you'll be able to do it again some other time.
Yeah, oh yeah, she knows. We're gonna wait till after Thanksgiving,
Right.
and we're gonna try it again. This is just one of those off days.
It's been a while since
It's
he's
been a
been
while
like
Yeah.
since
this.
it's been like this, so I'm
It's
glad it happened
understandable.
now. Before we even went over there, I'm glad it happened now.
Right.
What I wanted to ask you also was, oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, Brenda said, I always set an alarm when I have something I need to do. But like you, Eddie, I always have something to do. Right. Yes. I'm
Right.
always doing
Yep.
something. Kristen Berg, I meant to say hello to you. Thank you so much for being here. I am so sorry. I did see you in the chat. I do apologize.
She said her boys have that. They,
Uh,
well,
right. Yeah. Um,
I'll just say a quick overall hello to everybody.
Yeah, and everybody
like,
in here has been saying hello to Boomer too. Everybody, Melissa said hello to you. Everyone, so
Yeah, I was reading the chat, but I didn't want to interrupt.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's all good. Hey, that's okay. I learned how to button finally a couple of years ago myself. To this day, I wear t-shirts, but no, I'm just
This
playing.
shirt is
I'm having
weird.
fun with you, bro.
I mean,
Um,
damn thing's about 20 years old, so
that's like my
holding up
wife.
pretty good for 20 years old. When
Hey,
I
that's
first got
like
this
20 years
shirt,
old. Fine,
too
I'll
I
let
long.
could barely I could barely fit into this shirt when I first got it, and now look all the room I have. 70 pounds, like really,
Wow.
don't sound like much to a lot of people, but
Hey, believe me, I wish I could lose 20. No, actually, if Jen was to stop making good food, I would lose weight.
Be for your freaking weight gain.
that's probably a big part of it too. Living on my own, having to cook for myself, and being lazy.
Hmm.
Too lazy to cook. I'm not eating. I don't have to.
I
Not
used to.
everybody, Colleen. Not everybody, but there's quite a few.
Sorry,
Um,
that man is having a hard day. Yeah, you know what, Luna, or Mary, I mean, he has days like this. Manny is just being Manny. We have two boys with autism, and let me tell you something. It's a challenge. It really is. It's a challenge. Because we have three boys with special needs, only two of them with autism. Manny is
right,
just more
right.
severe. Tony is the type of person though that he know if you touch his stuff,
That's when he gets mad.
he gets mad because
Yeah,
he don't like nothing
yeah,
out of place.
You don't
And
yeah.
share.
he does not like to share. He does not like you sitting next to him unless he wants you next to him. That's his space. He don't want nobody in it, you
Sounds
know.
like my little brother, but instead of autism, he's just a greedy bitch. So,
But
um, Kristen, I I'm not sure. Or who asked the question? Shit, I saw it now. I can't remember. Pink. The only thing I can attribute to it, because the only change I made in my life back then, I switched from regular soda to drinking Pepsi Max. That's the only thing that can come to mind. I don't exercise. Um, the only time my diet has changed now since I discovered I have diabetes, but I always ate the same foods, everything. Like the only
Mhm.
thing that changed in my life is I stopped drinking regular soda. And suddenly, like 5 years later, I'm 70 pounds lighter. I was 240, what was it, 243 Christmas of 2020 when I
Mhm.
weighed myself at my parents' house. The last time we had Christmas there in 2020. And then I weighed myself again at the friend's house I went to do an investigation at in New Jersey in 2022.
Mhm.
I was 193. And then my first visit to VA over here, they weighed me, I was 170.3. So I lost over 70 pounds since 2020.
That's actually great, man. I'm
So
glad to hear that. Hey, little
and the only thing I
Skinner.
can account for is the only thing I did was, I don't exercise. I lay in my bed most of the time. Like,
Hey, I hear you. Hey, I lift the
no,
candy bar. That's
um,
my exercise.
Oh, I can't lose my
Hey,
game.
Right?
hey, El Skidder, so glad to see you here. Thank you for being here.
Hey,
Do you
Al.
still investigate today?
I never really uh did investigations per se. I did that one for my cousin because she knew what I was about and stuff.
Right.
She already knew I had like this gift or whatever. And even then, back in 2015, I didn't fully understand what the gifts were and how how they worked exactly and stuff like that. I just knew
Mhm.
I was able to communicate with spirits. That's as far as it went. It wasn't until like I started getting into it after that I started investigating a little, not investigating, researching a little bit more into it and discovered the clairs, the clair abilities. Um, but I never considered myself an investigator. I don't really do investigations per se. I have done some missing person cases via internet,
Hmm.
with some people via live streams.
Hmm.
But all I've ever done is just the psychic medium thing. Um,
Brenda
I
Hall says,
contact people's past loved ones and give them whatever message they come in with. And I don't look for anybody specific.
hmm.
I just when it comes to me, I'll know when it's something pertinent and I have to mention it. I always got shit coming at me constantly. It's kind of like if you're watching TV and there's a radio going on in the background. All right, you're
Right.
aware of the radio, but what's important is what's on the TV. You
Right.
know, that's how it happens to me. When I see it in the TV part of my brain,
Hmm.
I know it's pertinent and I should bring it up and mention it. Like the other night when I started getting those names, they come in loud and clear. Um, if it's a message via images, the images are very crisp, clear, and clean, and not like a faded photograph like my background here. That's usually just crap that I'm picking up on that I don't need to address.
Right.
So mostly I just do it during my live streams back in the day when I was doing it all the time. Get a message, I say, hey, does anybody know so and so? And somebody in the chat will mention, oh, is it this so and so? Like, so and then I start a dialogue between me and that person in the chat, and to see for one if this person coming through is in fact for them,
Hmm.
and they give me details that even they forgot about. Like there was one case where somebody lost their ring, um, months or years ago, and the person coming through had to remind them about that. Oh, I forgot all about that ring. Like, well, you know what? Look behind your washers and dryers. Because I saw the image of a ring
Hmm.
like in the corner behind like either a washer or dryer.
Right.
The next day they did. They hit see they don't clean behind it because they got their stuff up on pedestals and things like that. So that's why they couldn't find it.
Hmm.
Eventually she remembered she had taken her ring off. I guess she was digging in to get something out of the washer, but she took her ring off, put it on a shelf or on the back of it or something, forgot about it, it had fallen down. So the next day, the day after, or the day after that, she had somebody come in and pull the washer and dryers from the wall and clean out all the fucking dust bunnies, you know.
Hmm.
And she found it. She found the ring behind the um washer. So
Oh, that's great, man. Hey, at least you hope to find the jewelry. You
yeah.
know,
I
to this day,
also
it's still sitting at the pawn shop.
huh?
It's a joke. I said to this
Yeah,
day, it's still sitting at the pawn shop.
right.
That's what
Um
land of dreams, broken
I
dreams.
didn't solve it per se, but there was one case. I can't remember who it was who brought it to my attention, but somebody in Australia, they brought a case to my attention about a guy who was hiking in the mountains there near the ocean. And all this stuff started coming to me about it. And I listed it all down. I did Google World Search to match the images in my head with on an actual map that existed and thing. And I told her, I was like, well, I'll point this out, point that out. I was like, it's in here. They're going to discover them here. And I told him what happened, told him what he was wearing a red baseball cap, blah, 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 and all that. Well, it was 3 or 4 months later, I think, because it was at that point, like it was our summer is their winter, stuff like that. So at that point, like they weren't doing any searches or anything. Um, so it wasn't until their spring or summer came around and he was found exactly in that little lagoon area off from the ocean, exactly where I said, on a little sandbar. He'd washed up, I think, is what she said, on a sandbar in that lagoon. I pinpointed it. I was like, yep, they're gonna find him there. Apparently he was murdered. He was murdered, pushed off the cliff into the ocean, and the current carried him out and back into the little lagoon area. And that's where he found his body.
No, condolences to the family, man. That's
That's
deep.
the only one that came true for me. That I've done like I stopped doing missing persons cases and cold cases because of
I'm
that
reading
shit.
some of the chat. Brenda Hall said that she has type 2 diabetes and she learned eating only meats and vegetables is a great way to get off diabetes meds.
Yeah, definitely type 2.
And Christina said, when you guys all met me, I was a size 2 to 4. Change of life hit with me within 3 months. I went a size 12. I went to a size 12 that was 4 years ago, still trying to get off that weight. Good luck with that.
Or I can't.
Ever try?
I kind of turned your paranormal stream into a health and fitness 101.
I know, right? Hey, a good way to get off of that. I don't condone it, but try crack.
Red Factory here.
And let's see the next one. Jen said all she has to do is look at food and she gains 5 pounds. Very true. She just gained another pound just looking at the bag of chips. Just looking at it, not including eating it.
Sorry, can you hear
Ludicrous
I heard that's a common big side effect to that. I had a cousin as well. After her last child, she had to have a hysterectomy. And she put on like 50 pounds, like that.
Yeah, because a lot of Jen's is from having all these boys, because she had them all natural.
Right.
So that's where a lot of her weight came from. Just having these boys, and she just haven't been
boy and girl.
Well, yeah, it's so hard. I forget. That's
Eddie all like cushion for the pushing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because she got 4 kids, and but it's from having all those kids. That she gained all that weight. And
Well, I
it's just
didn't gain
hard
all
for
that
her.
weight. I didn't gain it until after the hysterectomy is when I really started like.
What's funny is how women, when they're pregnant, their face get all puffy and their nose get big. I used to try to paint Jen's nose red, call her Rudolph.
And this live stream went left field real quick.
Yeah, it did. I'm sorry. I'm ADHD out there, yin yang. Believe me.
I started it all with the little health tip. I brought up weight issues, so.
Hey, when a few years back, way before me and Jen met, there was a lady friend of my mom and dad's. Her name was Diane Key. You remember James Key's mom. And this was like right after my wife died. And I met her. My mom wanted me to meet her, so I met her. Now, she was a Black woman. She was also a tarot card reader. And she said she read me right when I walked in the door. Now, my mom didn't tell her that my wife had passed away, but she knew that there was tragedy in my life. But she said, but you know what? There's something else about you. She was like, you have a certain aura. You have a gift that you don't know that you have, and you've never used it.
Right.
And that was the gift of using my spirit box to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had passed away, And my friend Jimmy Key, his mom, he said that's what his mom was trying to tell me. By me using the spirit box and talking to, our loved ones that are no longer here, that's the gift that she was trying to tune in on. She
Right.
said she knew I had it, but I never knew how to use it. But I would know in time. Unfortunately, she never got a chance to tell me because then she had turned out she had passed away.
Right.
So I feel you when it
Yeah.
comes to, talking, and your body's reaction to talking to spirits, because I feel that too,
Right.
but I tell people I'm not really intuitive. I'm not, I'm not as much spiritualist, but I'm not a sense, but
Right. Right.
I just feel that from time to time. Like when we go to a cemetery, I feel to go in a different direction, you know, and it
Right.
proves me to be right that I went that direction for a reason because I was called there, you know, even though I didn't hear the calling, it was just my body's intuition telling me to go there. Do you
Right.
have that feeling sometime?
I get that feeling constantly.
Mine gets
Um, a lot of times, see, that's with me, the biggest problem is I get into these situations where I'm dealing with anywhere from 5 to 500 um energies at one time, and they all want me to go in a different area. Like that's the
Right.
biggest problem with spirits. They always think their case is the most dire. Like they got to be the first ones to, be seen. It's like uh, imagine a line at the DMV and there's only one teller. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or back in the old day where they used to have actual people operators, phone operators operating the whole town of, phones. It's like that. It's like, oh, fuck, it's like trying to handle a wave of, I
Yeah.
can't say, well, for lack of a better term, people, they're people, they're just in a different form. So it's like you get waves of it and they all want something different. And
Right.
I get I wait until I feel that actually, it feels like a rope pulling on my abdomen.
Mm.
Lead me, like a horse's led with reins, If the horse feels the rein on his right cheek, he knows to go left. If he feels it on his left cheek, he knows to go right. See,
Hmm.
that's how horses are like people commonly, just a little sidebar here, real quick. Common misconception is a horse being pulled from the right is telling them go. That's no. When that's why you should use both reins. When they feel the left rein on their left side of their cheek, that's
Hmm.
when they know they need to be steered right. So that's kind of what it's like. It's like they got reins on me, pulling me in a different directions. Well, the one I feel pulling the hardest, that's where I usually go.
Right.
Um,
And that's me right there. What I
but
feel
like
the
I said, I don't necessarily investigate anyway.
hmm
But when I'm out somewhere like at the cemetery or whatever, and I'm wondering where should I go for a good, little session or whatever, they
Right.
guide me like, oh, I got a story for you. Come on, like they boomerize me like I boomerize everybody else on their own live streams. That's kind
Right.
of what they do. They come in, they take over Boomer, kind of like Boomer takes over everybody else's live stream kind of thing.
Right.
Like they're like, yeah, this way, come on, this way. Um, and I feel it. Like a lot of times I'll feel tug in my abdomen area, like I'm attached to an umbilical cord and somebody's pulling on the umbilical cord. You
Right.
know, it's that feeling, that gut feeling to an extreme. Like, oh, okay, this is where you want me to go.
Right.
Um, so
I
I
was
go
reading what
there
Pink Book
and
said.
suddenly I stop feeling the tug. Once we get there and I look and I'll see, oh, okay, so this is where you want me at this headstone for this person.
oh wow.
And they're like, yeah, you know, um,
Hmm.
that's me. Like they're like, that's me, that's mine. And a lot of times they just want to like give me the guide. They want to show me where their resting place is for the most part. Like they don't necessarily have a message for me or somebody else. They're just like, hey, let's show this guy my plot. And that's what it's like. Boomer's face looks normal now. Yeah, that's because Eddie and Jen got actually good Wi-Fi. I run when I'm doing mine, it's off from friggin' hotspot. So
Hey, I want
like
to give a shout out real
low
quick to Irish
quality
Whiskey.
shit. But
Irish Whiskey, thank you so much for being here. Long time no see, sir. And James T, welcome to the chat. Pink Punk said, for me, it might be a form of being clairsentient. You know what,
sentient.
Pink Punk?
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. I was told that before. I don't like to tell say that I'm something that I'm not. I'd
Right.
rather other people say that because, I'll just let you know. I'm just an average
Right.
guy, because I don't like to make titles on myself.
You're like, I'm just the guy that can do this, and somebody would be like, well, if that's what you can do, then this is what I would suggest you are. It's like, so you're
Right,
waiting for somebody that knows a little more about what they are to let you know, hey, that sounds a lot like this. So, you know,
right.
yeah.
So that's why I don't want to mislead people. And you know me, Boomer.
Hmm.
I'll never give myself a
Yep.
title that I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll never tell a person I'm
And
a paranormal investigator when I haven't went to a
right.
house.
Yep.
So I mean, I could be, but I won't give myself that title, nor will I give my
Right.
wife.
Yeah. Just like, I
JP,
mean, it's not like I go around telling people well, I'm a psychic medium or anything like that. Cause like, I don't exaggerate my abilities like I've seen a lot of them do because before you know it, somebody's going to put you to the test. If
Mhm.
you're telling somebody that you can do this, they're going to want you to prove it. You know, but psychic mediums, they're the hardest thing to prove whether or not they're legitimate or not. It's
Right.
hard as hell to prove that until you catch them in like this one guy I was watching you one day on YouTube. He calls up these psychic hotlines and gives them a bogus story about a relative who had passed, and they go right into it. Now, if they were real psychic mediums, they would have known. Wait, no, I'm not getting that name. No, nobody's connecting with that. No, they would know, and but they don't. So, if you want to be like that, if you want to be like that guy who deliberately makes bogus shit up to catch somebody, it's easy. But in general, it's like you just pretty much have to take them at their word. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you can hear
Hello,
Hey,
Rocco.
talking to
I want
you.
to send a
Yeah.
shout out to uh,
Oh, please. Oh, Mr.
uh,
Nightball. Would you please get rid of Mr. Nightball?
uh,
Please.
it's Sunnybrook. Thank you so much for being here. We don't have no large caps or anything like that. So please, yeah, you're not spam. I know you're not
He
spamming.
didn't scam. All he did
It's
was
not
little
you.
tiny thing.
It's Nightbot.
He's a jerk.
Nightbot's being a jerk. I am so sorry. Thank you so much. We love your subscription though. Thank you for being here. Rocco, thank you so much also for being here. You're all part of our family.
Hi, Diane.
We love you. Diane, thank you so much also for being here. And please
Can you
forgive
take off Nightball?
Nightbot. You know what? I'm gonna just put Nightbot on timeout. You
All
know,
right.
Where is
Night, 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 bot.
yeah, I'm
not him, not him, not him, not him. Go up
no
to
no no.
Nightball.
I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is
Go all the way down to Nightball.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add that there. And then
We gotta find Mr. Nightball and put
and,
him to sleep.
and I'm gonna find Mr. Nightbot here.
That's what you have moderators for.
Go to channel.
Why are you?
Because I'm gonna put him in timeout right now. Well, I'll do this.
You don't know how to put
I think Nightbot's having separation anxiety because nobody's paying attention to him. So he does something to bring our
Okay, yeah,
attention.
he just basically gave a warning. So
He's
yeah,
like, it's been a while since somebody scolded me. I'm gonna time somebody out.
yeah.
because I don't have a problem with the email.
Or Nightbot.
Emails.
Uh, Sonny, what happened? Don't worry, you did nothing wrong.
He says, no, too easy. Stop spamming emails. Why? I don't understand. What is,
Yeah, don't worry. I'll deal with Nightbot.
Oh, when people put up more than three emotes in a row, they consider that spamming emotes. So Nightbot picked up on that.
Right.
oh, okay. Sorry about that, you
Yeah,
guys.
so I am sorry, Sunnybrook. You are fine.
Yeah, he does, Irish.
Yes, all clear.
Rocco said I do a live stream sometime.
And you know what, Rocco, you are right. We do need to do a live we
Hey,
do.
Rocco. Long time no
You're so
see.
right. There. So yeah, I apologize for that. Now, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nightbot will not time out what's the word for him again? Mods.
right,
So that's why you're blue now. He modded you so that
right,
Nightbot will leave you alone.
right. So Nightbot will leave you alone. Now, back to what we were saying. Now, I'm actually going to flip the page this time because what a lot of people in here don't know about you is that you also do art.
Yes, he does amazing art.
And you do
Yes.
Actually.
some amazing art. So
Well,
let's
thank
talk
you.
about that.
I think Eddie's the only one in 50 years that can make me blush. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
but you
amazing.
and you still owe me
I
a
don't
art.
know.
No.
I don't know. I mean, as far as like it started out sketching, doodling and stuff. From the time I could hold a pencil, I was sketching, drawing on Dad's living room wall.
Hey, Tina.
And, and I always had this natural ability to draw, whatever popped in my head, and I would always draw. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until about 2012 I actually got in. I mean, I took art classes in junior high and high school and experienced painting with acrylics and oils there. But it wasn't until about 2012 my mom gave me a combination birthday and Christmas gift. Um, my own set of it was a little starter set. Comes with a tabletop easel
Yes,
case,
like what we
case
have
that
over
turns into
here.
an easel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started painting, and I've been doing it on and off since 2012. I think I have about 1,000 paintings out there somewhere.
Yeah,
Most
that's
of them
great.
were done as gifts. I would paint something for somebody that kind of goes along with the character and give it to them as a gift. My nieces, parents, and
Jen's
different
still waiting on
people like
hers.
that. Yeah, Jen, you guys are so. I lost that picture, by the way. You would have to send me a new reference photo. But yeah, well, ever since I haven't been really into it much lately since my sister passed away in 2020. Um, because she was my muse.
Hmm.
Like she was the only one I could go to where I knew it was like genuine, like, she really cared about my art and stuff like that. Whereas everybody else just figured, oh, it's just another painting. My sister knew, the depth of the meaning when I do a painting. Um,
Right.
and since she passed away, like for the last 4 years, I just kind of been back to the dabbling in it a little bit. I mean, I have 6 paintings completed, and I'm working on a 11 by 14 now, that
I,
I've been trying to sell. But
I'm I'm posting a channel in here.
Sunny
Her name
Brook.
is Sunnybrook. I want everybody to go by, check out her channel, subscribe to her because she is also a fellow painter, and we were just on her channel. Sunnybrook, you have a really nice channel.
You got some nice talent.
You have some really good talent.
Who's this? Sunnybrook?
Sunnybrook,
Yeah.
I put her channel link right there. So go by and check her out. She has a really, really nice channel.
Yeah. If you want me to, I can post my no, like I haven't done anything on that channel and I don't know how long, but I have a YouTube art channel myself called Boomer Behind the Brush. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Yeah, I do remember that.
If
Is
you
it still
want
up?
to. Oh wow, that is some good stuff right there. I
Right?
like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the
I
abstract
am
stuff, you know?
painting like I love people's art.
Right. We
I
love art.
collect painters' arts, like other painters that, not
Right.
I collect people who paint and I love
Sunny,
collecting their art.
Sunnybrook, you are very welcome. This is what we do. It's not about us, it's about
Hey,
you.
Boomer, put that link in the chat. Your
Yeah,
painting.
I'm trying to find that channel right now.
This is what we're about. Even though we do a
Um,
lot of paranormal, we
Do
we
other
do
things.
other things too. And we always try to give love back. And so that's why we put your link in there. So we want people to come by, check you out, show you some love.
you know what I
And
realized? I'm not even subscribed to my own art channel. I have to search it.
Well, you could have been, and then
It-
they took it off. Remember, because they've been doing that lately, taking people and off their
Yep.
subscription.
And
Oh, it
Sunny,
could be.
we love you too. We love everyone
Um,
here because that's what we're about.
how about if I do this? Can I just switch accounts real
Yeah,
quick
you can do that.
without? Yeah, that's how I'll do it. I can't
Mhm.
find it, but I can get on it by switching my accounts. Oh, I thought I could. It's not going. I'm clicking on it, but it's not going. Sorry, we found some errors. Invalid URL forwarding parameter. Sorry, your login was incorrect. What?
Euro farting.
Maybe they took that channel down.
URL.
Oh,
Didn't, I don't
I
know.
thought you said Euro farting.
Huh? URL isn't, they can't find the URL to my channel. Huh.
That's right, Pink Punks. We love to mess with
No,
everybody's channel.
YouTube likes the best.
Oh yeah,
people's
yeah.
channel.
YouTube does. There's
Here,
a
let
lot
me
of people
search.
here that had subscribed to us,
Boomer
but their
behind the
subscriptions were
brush.
gone. So that's why, hey, Irish Risky, we love you, bro. Take it easy. Hey, put your channel link in, Irish. Put your channel link in. I
Boomer
know you're
behind the
still doing
brush.
it. I know you're still doing it, brother. Because we got you.
Yeah, when you coming out with another video? I haven't seen you in a while.
Sunnybrook
Oh,
said,
it's
best live
there.
I've come across tonight. And the
Right.
love is overwhelming. You got my support. Expect my soul tribe to trickle in soon. Hey, God bless you, Sunny.
Oh,
And we have nothing but love for you and everyone that you bring to us. And
I
we
know what happened.
What happened?
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Um, they saved the wrong login information for the channel. It still exists. It's there. I'm looking at it, and I'm gonna try. Can't remember. How do you get the links to these? I'll
You
just copy the URL at
copy
the
and
top.
paste the link.
see now Lunar Eclipse just did.
She did for
So,
you.
oh, she posted it. Well, I
Yep, she got you.
posted too then.
Mary's usually on that stuff.
Yeah,
Like
Mary
her
was
and
on it.
Christina,
So
like,
it is searchable. The channel does exist. I just can't sign on to it because apparently there's something wrong with my sign-in information. So, but I did subscribe to myself. People can get it that way too. Um,
Divine Dedication,
That's weird.
welcome to the chat. So nice of you to be here.
so just don't expect any new material anytime soon on that channel because I can't sign on to it to do anything.
No
But you
problem.
can see what I've done. I posted 3 small little clips, videos of all my art that I've done up to that point. So They're all in video form, 3 videos. So
Hey, it's all good.
already personal shares. If anyone
Divine dedication, you are welcome.
Irish whiskey, who the hell is that?
I know it's been a minute, hasn't it?
Or no, right? He said he
It
moved.
has.
He's trying to get his stuff back together.
Yeah, I'm glad he put his channel link in there.
Mhm.
And it's probably been a while since he's done anything. Let's take a look here. Let's see, the last video Ira Visky has, it's been 3 years.
Yep, that
Oh
was
my.
long. Let me look at my channel.
Irish, you got to get back out
6
there.
years for me.
6 years. Hey, but you still go live.
No, I mean on my my art channel, I haven't posted anything in 6
Oh,
years.
okay. Because I'm editing a video now. It's actually a video we did 5 years ago. But what's interesting about the video, there's just a lot of things I didn't pay attention to. And some
Right.
people have brought it to my attention. So
Mhm.
I re-edited it and I'm recirculating it, but I also took the original one down.
Right.
So I'm putting this one up. So I'll let people see it for themselves. I'll also mention that in the beginning that this is
Mhm.
5 years ago. And I may just because I took it down, but what I did was I paused it so nobody can see it. But I may just go ahead and leave it back up there because I edited a whole bunch out and then just leave the original back up. So he
I
said I
just
did a
remembered.
live after that paranormal parking lot.
I
Oh,
don't.
okay, Irish. We'll
I
go
don't
by.
know how far down the list you went with like when you
Oh,
go to my
so
channel
you
to
didn't
see
have to
my
do
videos and everything.
that.
I don't know how far down you've
We
gone,
appreciate it, but you didn't have to do that.
but
Sure
it's I
didn't.
think it's the last video you'll come to, which is the first or second video I posted since I got this new channel. Because this ain't my original channel. I've had 4 since then. Um, Another thing I've dabbled in. All right, on my channel, this one here, Boomer D channel, I have a video of me singing a song that I wrote. I converted a poem that I wrote into song form. I arranged the music, made the video all on my own. I edited, directed, and wrote and sang it all. So if y'all want to check that out, that's something I've been dabbling in because of the karaoke
Yeah.
scene thing
And
that
what
we
I'll
do.
do is I'll put the links after later on. I'm gonna put the links to your channels in the description box.
Oh,
Rob,
okay, cool.
have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. We love you, bro. God bless you, and you take care of yourself. And happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you. Don't eat too much jive turkey.
Celebrate their first super. Oh, you got a super chat.
Yes, I know. Thank you so much, Sonny Brook. You did not have to do that, but we appreciate you. And all super chats basically goes to our boys. As a lot of you know, they are special needs, and our goal is to get them to go to Disneyland.
They never been.
They've never been, they've always wanted to go, so I'm saving money for them to go. And that's what all the super chat money is going.
Cool. Cool.
So it's not about us, it's about them.
Right.
So I was gonna ask, would you be up to a spirit box? A small one.
Sure.
Tiny one?
Itty bitty.
Little
Sure.
itty bitty,
Sounds
just
good to
a
me.
little teeny weeny. Oh, it's okay.
No,
How about the
I mean
chat?
those I don't like. I can sit through those. The only ones I have an issue with is like the SP7
And the
machines, like the
necrophonic. Yeah.
Oh,
crap,
the white
that
noise.
static drives me nuts and like
Mm-hmm.
triggers my friggin' like everything. My um
Senses?
um
Mine?
my bipolar. My bipolar, like if I have to listen to that crap for more than 5 minutes, I just want to
And
pick
still a
up
musician.
something and smash it. I can't
Ah,
stand that shit.
I just learned
Oh
also
yeah,
something
that,
as a fellow musician. Same
huh?
here. I am a musician. I've been a musician before a YouTuber, believe it or not. I just don't have all that fame like a lot of them do, but that's because I basically got it that way. I'm a retired sessions artist. So I've worked with a lot of artists back in the 80s and 90s. So that was my thing. And a lot of my intros are done by me. So take that for what it's worth.
So you go from tickling the ivories to digging the slate.
Ivories. Yep. I sure do. I'm a jack of all spades.
There you
It
go.
really is.
So how many of you out there? Oh, wait a minute. Pink's Punk said she's a musician too. It's good to have musicians in here.
Right. Well, I don't consider myself a musician by any means. I made that I made a song out of that one. I write poetry, but
Hmm.
that's the first one I ever turned into a song. And did it myself. So
Right.
that's the only music. That's his music. That's the extent of my musical talent is that video. I posted on my channel. So don't
Mm.
expect much in the future along the lines of music from Boomer. Um, the art and paranormal thing that'll be a part of my life for the rest of my life. The music thing is just something fun to do.
Right. Sunnybrook asked, what about Vox? Now, Vox, are you talking about, are you not talking about the voice box? Are you the talk box? Because that's basically what I use. Um, Sunnybrook said it makes you go in sensory overload. I totally get it. I'm the
Yeah.
same.
Oh, he's talking about the spirit
Oh,
box.
the spirit box. Yes, the Vox. No, what I use a Phasma box.
And
So
it doesn't have
it doesn't have none of that.
they don't have none of that.
Right. It's the total opposite. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get ready to start it now. And we're just gonna do a small one. How many of you out there in the chat would like to see a small spirit box session? All you have to do is type in yes.
First thing I want to ask is who the hell threw that clock at me at my doctor's office?
That's hilarious.
What was that all about? 'Cause I didn't think anything of it, paying attention to what time was on the clock when that happened. Like I didn't bother like looking to see if like the time or the position of hands or anything. So I didn't know if like,
Thank you,
it
Pink.
was out of left
Thank you
field.
so
Like I
much.
had like,
That's some yeses.
so
So let me get ready to get this started.
I know my appointment was at 9:30, so I had to have been around 9:30, quarter to 10 when it happened. And
Maybe it
it was
was a
like,
military person
you
that
trying
was
to send
giving.
me a message here or what?
You let it load up first. Excuse me while I whip this out. I'm sorry.
Blazing
Blazing
Saddles.
Saddles just came in my
I
mind.
have a
Tennessee?
I have a Archangel Michael protection prayer that I have recorded on my phone. Would you like me to play that?
Yes, you can.
Because even though I came up with it and wrote it, I can't remember it.
The app she uses is Vox.
But
Okay, because I have Vox, but I don't use it a lot. I usually use this or my app that's called Dead Wave.
Dead
This
Weight?
one I learned from Dalen Spratt, who was a member of Ghost Brothers. He's one of the founding members, and he told me he recommended this, which is why I use this. But I don't use it all the time. I don't take it out with me a lot. Most of the time, I just use my Dead Wave app. So I'm just letting it load up right now, and I'm gonna go grab me something to drink real quick. Jen, why don't you dance and entertain our guests?
I don't have the recorded, but I still have it where
Dance.
I have it in my notes. Would you like me to recite that?
Yeah, if you want to slide it, you can.
before we start? Do you want to wait for Eddie to get back, or? Yeah, I'll wait for Eddie. When Eddie gets back, just before he turns it on, I'll do it. I came up with this one on my own.
Man, my phone is so slow.
Where they will reach out
Come on, slowpoke,
to.
Grandpa.
What's that?
I told him, come on, slowpoke, Grandpa.
What's up, Grandpa?
I'm sorry. Jen makes some really good lemonade, and you'd swear she put some crack in it because I just can't drink just one cup.
And you thought it was sugar.
And I thought it was sugar. Okay, you
You
might
want me to
hear.
go ahead and recite this
Yeah, I'm just
before you
Yeah,
turn
why you
that
do?
on, or?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I wrote this one myself. Archangel Michael, I ask of you to protect and shield myself, those around me or involved, with your light during these procedures and throughout the practice of my gifts, as well as in my daily routine. Grant me the strength and power to achieve my task in a safe manner and prevent any malevolent or negative energies from coming through during this session and those to follow. In the name of your Father, our Creator, I thank you.
Amen. Okay, we are gonna get this started.
Yeah, I had to come up with one that suited me and my character more because you know me, I'm not into the Bible religion type stuff.
Right,
So
right.
plus I don't like stealing other people's work, you know what I'm saying?
And I don't blame you not one bit. I know. I gotta get a patch. And we're getting ready to get this spirits session started. And spirits, you're welcome to our home as always. We just want you to respect us as we respect you. We're coming to you out of love and light. We mean no disrespect to you, but we don't want no negative spirits. So we only want the positive. We want to keep our home positive. So you are welcome.
Boomer Jr. and Boomerella will ward off anything.
Yes. I use a picture of my mother-in-law.
The first one, right?
Yeah. Embarrassing.
I noticed, I mean, even though knowing you were married before, all right, she instantly associated it with her when you said that. It's like, I could have been talking about my former mother-in-law. You know,
Right.
how did you know, Jan?
Well, they see him. Who you see? Do you see Boomer?
High spirits, high spirits, high spirits, high spirits. Almost
Y'all want
sounds
to say
like I'm
hello to
saying I'm
Boomer?
in high spirits, huh?
So who's here with us? Can we get a name by any chance?
What did it say? They were saying that's him. If that's what you're talking about, that's the one you missed. They said that's him.
Oh,
Or did they say, is that him?
is that him? Yes, it was. Is
Is
that
that
him?
him? Is that what they, okay. Is
Mhm.
that him? Yeah, Sonny was asking what they said. Did they just say loudmouth? Did they call
Spirits,
me a loudmouth?
I don't like talking over you, so I'm gonna let you speak, and I'm gonna come in every 30 seconds.
That's 30 seconds longer than Boomer. All righty. Did you hear that?
Uh-huh. Who are we speaking with?
Nobody?
Somebody, I love you something.
Nobody something is what I heard. I couldn't catch the second part.
We're dealing with.
Who we dealing with?
You're dealing with a very nice couple and a very nice gentleman across from us on our screen.
You're dealing with Bobby here, okay? You talking to me? I'm Bobby De Niro. You know.
Give my microphone to spirits. I'm gonna try to get it closer.
Give your microphone to the spirits. What if they leave? What if they don't give it back, Christina? You ever think of that?
I thought it did. You see, we turned up all the way. You too.
I had
Did
COVID.
they say I'm bipolar?
I turned it up as far up as I can get it.
Thought it should said something about I had COVID or
So who are we talking with? Yeah.
50,000.
50,000.
We're gonna expect.
So you still don't want to give me a name? If you're the enemy, then we can't have you here.
You know, that could be a reference to because Texas also is a hot spot for the Civil War
There
activities.
is.
Oh,
They could have been considered, you're a Yankee to them. Because you're born and raised in Ohio, correct?
right.
They could be referring to you as the enemy
That's
because
very
that was their, back then.
true. That's true.
Take camera.
I'm camera shy? Is that what they said?
Huh? Sounds
Sound like they said I'm camera shy.
I thought he said didn't care much.
Oh, okay. Well, you're hearing it firsthand. I'm hearing it over here, so I'll take your word for it.
You don't have any regrets?
No regrets.
You don't have any remorse?
I've been forgiven.
Then you are forgiven. But no one's still giving me a name. Joey.
I heard that clear. He said Joey.
Mary says, ask them if they can tell us the current year.
Huh?
Mary said, ask them if they can tell us the current year.
I agree with you on that no more hate. What year is this? What year are you in?
Oh, hey, James. Mr. James T.
What year are you in? Something about the war. Someone wants to know, what do you do all day?
They bug me. That's what they do.
What do you do all day, Spirit?
Say it. Say bug boomer.
It's like,
Hey Tiggs, no problem. Shout out to Tiggs in New Zealand, everybody.
good.
Spirits, can you say hi to Tiggs down in New Zealand?
Yeah, I keep forgetting where Tiggs is from. I keep thinking Australia.
In
In transit.
transit.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, in transit.
Like they're in the middle of transitioning,
Yeah, that's what it
like
is.
to the next level.
Yep.
Or.
In the
In the-
U.
in
If
the
you need
US.
help with that, Christina can help you. She can help you with transitioning.
You know, Spirit, Christina's here. She can help you transfer over.
Excuse me.
Christina says, Spirits, that she's doing a crossover tonight.
Oh,
Did he just say, okay, here it comes?
So, okay, here I come.
Better Christina's place than mine.
Yes, I was gonna tell you, Tiggs, Christian there is a fellow Kiwi.
people.
I love Kiwi.
Ace, good to see you.
Yeah.
Sam.
Sam.
Hey, face the ace in the house. What's up?
Hi, Mama of Angel.
Olive
Hi,
Angel,
Shelly.
see you.
Wow, a lot of names I ain't seen in a while.
I sometimes do.
Primarily just for.
I what did it say?
I was surprised as hell to see Irish Whiskey in my live stream earlier. I was like, damn.
Yeah. I sometimes do think that Sunnybrook, like it could be alien intelligence that we're talking to, not necessarily paranormal.
True. I guess.
Is there any alien intelligence here?
We come.
We come in peace.
Excuse me.
Tamsy Faye, so glad to see you here, fam. Did they all come there? Yeah, I'm hoping they did, Christina, so they can bug the heck out of you.
Well, and these are.
Hey, spirits, can you tell us how many spirits are here with us?
Yeah, they know themselves
That's interesting.
as aliens when we speak them. Well, if it's an alien life form, I would imagine.
Right, I
Or
agree.
they may be like, they may see us as the aliens.
Right. How we look
You
at
never
them,
know.
they may see us the same way.
But spirits, the ones that know they have passed on, whether they crossed or not, for the most part, if they acknowledge the fact that they've passed on, they do view us as what they remember us to be, humans, people, and they
Right.
understand they're now in spirit form. There are cases where a spirit doesn't understand they're dead and don't know what's going on and don't even acknowledge us. So
Right.
That's called a residual.
Yeah, yeah, because they're replaying themselves over and over, whether you're there or not.
There's all types of residual stuff out there. Residual noises is just recordings of the past that
Right,
some people are able to tune into. They can
to,
either see it or hear it happening.
right.
Gettysburg is full of that stuff.
And we're gonna go there one day. We are
I
gonna go.
hope so. I hope you're able to swing by and get me on your way.
Hey, we may do just
You
that.
have to go 4 hours further north and then double back.
Right.
I would love to go there again.
Face Ace, how you doing, Boomer?
I'm good, Face. How you been? Oh, as good can be again.
about, and it started as,
Did you say something about starting something?
Yeah, starting something. Sunnybrook, yeah, that could possibly be. I mean, we really don't know what's coming through because it's not like we can see them. So we have to look at it, with an open mind.
Right.
Hold on a second. As a matter of fact, spirits, hold on 1 second, spirits. That's like anybody out there that, believes in cryptids and Bigfoot. You always look at everything with an open mind. Just because we haven't seen these things doesn't mean they don't exist. Because there's too many people that's seen these things, that there has to be something there. Whether it's Bigfoot, Yeti, Jin's Yeti, um, there's got to be some truth to it. We have to be able to, even though we haven't seen it, there has to be some truth. Yankee Cow, how are you doing? Good to see you tonight. And Sunnybrook
Christina,
said, I
that
am aware. I'm just collecting data. Yes, keep collecting data. That's what we do. Keep
yeah.
collecting that data because it's not.
Chris-
You learn new things every day. Every day we learn something new. So if these are uh, aliens coming through as we perceive as aliens, um, possibly. If these are spirits coming through, possibly. I mean, all these possibilities, without us really seeing it, it could be anything.
I want to comment on something Christina said here
Yeah.
about people in coma who can come through. Now that reminded me of another session I did on a live stream with somebody in our chat who, when I brought this issue to light, somebody in the chat hit on it. And what it was, because I was hearing, smelling, and seeing evidence of a horrific car crash, right?
Uh-huh.
So the person in their chat, when I described what was going on, they mentioned they had a friend that was involved in a car accident. I think it was a couple months prior,
Mm-hmm.
and they were laying in the hospital in a coma, and they were connecting to me in coma state. In a
Wow.
comatose state, I connected with it. They were communicating with me. Their spirit was letting me know, like I was seeing all the I described the vehicle to a T. I was like, I smell burning rubber. I hear the crunching of metal, and all of a sudden I see, like, I have a vision of a car impacting a big tree and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And that's what the spirit was showing me that happened to them. And then the next vision was I described what the individual looked like. She goes, "Oh my God, that's my friend. She's in a coma at the moment." And that's when I first discovered that coma patients, their spirits can communicate, uh, whether via spirit box or with a medium.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I experienced that, communicating with somebody in a coma.
Yeah, I was reading Pink Punk said she was attacked by an alien looking entity. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Marilyn Lagerberg, so glad to have you here. Welcome. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to try this again. Spirits, I do apologize. I didn't mean to cut off so abruptly. But we're coming back to
Hi,
you.
Sammy.
Hey, Yankee, no problem, bro.
Hey,
Appreciate
Sammy,
it.
Spiritual Journey. So glad to have you here. Welcome.
Sammy, long time no see. How's your cousin, aunt slash mother slash grandmother doing?
Terrible.
Wait, Mary's in here, isn't she? She was earlier, right? Is Mary still here? Oh, there she is. Hi, Sammy, she says. I don't know if you're aware of this. Sammy is Mary's lunar eclipse of paranormal niece or cousin.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. I
She's
just
some
modeled
kind of
it.
relation to Mary that I can never figure out what, you know.
Yep, and I just modded her.
So, yeah.
So you got that blue wrench.
Hi, Scott.
Use that wrench
Wow.
wisely. I use my wrench every day. How you doing, Scott?
We're still here, boomer.
Spirits, I apologize. Just having a little fun.
Digitized.
Did they say don't
Digitize.
do that?
Yeah, digitize.
Oh, digitize. I thought they said don't do that. Like when you guys are showing each other.
It's just saying that's so crazy.
Don't do that. Cousin, but I call her my aunt. There you go. All right, now we got it. That's like with my look. The one I refer to as my niece. She's actually my second cousin, my cousin's daughter. The one I did that investigation for.
Damn, now you're gonna start sending me messages. My apologies, Spirit. What did you
They're
say?
out there.
They're out there.
They're out there. Yes, they are. Everywhere.
Those are Philip.
Pillow.
That's
Who
her.
is
How you
they?
doing, Scott?
Yeah, maybe the spirits can answer that age-old question for us. Who is they? You know, when somebody says, well, that's not what they say, you know, it's like, they say this, they say, you know. Oh, I forgot about my question
Have a good night.
about the clock. I forgot all about it. Spirits, can you tell me, do you know of the incident where that happened in the doctor's office I was at on the 17th, where the clock fell off the wall? Do you know about that? And do you know who's responsible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Can you tell me who was responsible? I'm sorry, I talked over him.
Try to remember more. Think real hard.
Is that what they said? Hard to remember?
Yes, I think I'm trying to remember more.
Because that's what I thought I heard. Hard
Uh-huh.
to remember.
Where in
Where in? Are they asking where the event happened?
Yeah.
Like where in did they say?
Yeah, we're in.
In a town called Bath, New York, at a VA hospital. Do you know who threw the clock on the floor? And is there a message to that? I know I ask a lot of three-part questions, don't
They probably want to see how time flies.
I? I was just thinking that. Wow. You said it before I could. That was gonna be my next question. Like, did they just want to see time fly? But you know, of course. Leave it to Eddie, you know, boomer to the punch. What'd they say?
I don't know. I was trying to. I try to pick up on some of what they say, and sometimes they say it in like a riddle.
Right. Yeah. Well, most of the spirit communication is very cryptic. Not cryptid for all you freaks out there. Cryptic.
And Sunnybrook said, tell them to, yeah, you're right, Sunnybrook. I need each one of you to give each other space to speak, spirits.
Good.
You did good.
Well, thank you.
If you ever need.
Cut it out, Christina.
I was going to say, maybe they were trying to tell Boomer you don't have a lot of time. Spirits, Boomer got plenty of time, don't he?
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't need Christina making it any shorter. At least wait till I find out if I get my VA or not. My benefits, I mean.
Spirits, who's with us?
It's actually.
Can you give me a name? My name's Ed. My wife Jen. That's Boomer on the screen.
Spirits, are there ghosts haunting? I hate using the word ghost, but I didn't want to sound repetitive with the word spirit. Are there spirits haunting the Bath VA hospital?
Bath VA Hospital.
I mean, I know I'm always like feeling shit all the time. Every time I go there, I get a weird, eerie feeling. Like nothing approaches me, but I just know something's there. You know, I sense a lot of energy there. But I've been there 5 times now, and nothing's ever approached me or anything like that. Tried to. That's the first time anything's happened where it felt like somebody's trying to get my attention. The
You be
clock on the wall. But
Poss- I just heard possible.
possible.
That's what it says, possible.
Should I be looking out for anything in particular on my next visit out there?
The highly. Well, to you.
More of them.
more of them. Tig said, I feel lots in the hospitals. Sunnybrook said,
There are.
I feel like if you ask, there are entities that exist at your location. You just said rather than say ghost and haunt.
Everywhere.
You know, I have considered that, Sonny, a lot, but you know, habits, slips of the tongue, you know, you don't have a lot of time when you're communicating with spirits. You don't have a lot of time to think about what you want to say. You say it as it comes to your head immediately. To keep it, you know, to keep the dialogue going, because they'll lose it. They'll lose interest, and before you get to the bottom of the story, like it all has to happen, boom, 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 you know, or else you lose um, the whole conversation, you know.
Hello,
Kind of
Ben.
like trying to talk to a 5-year-old on crack.
Right. Hi, Bailey. How you doing? everybody that don't know, Bailey here is autistic, and she is one of our super fans. Spirits,
Hey, all good, Sonny. All good.
Spirits, can you say hi to Bailey before we close?
Out of the room here as the
What
recording
the hell
of
is
this
that?
Saturday, November 23rd, 2024.
Hey, turn your TV on? Is that what it was? Or a program opened up on your computer? Is that what happened? How are you today, Bailey? Have a good weekend? Okay, so while Eddie and Jen are looking around to see what spirits are messing with their tech, figuring out where that sound came from, let's take some comments from the audience. How are we today, audience?
That was crazy.
What was it?
It was Adam the Woo video off of YouTube.
Spirits, give me a second.
Wow.
It just
It just popped right on our video. I didn't even. An Adam the Woo video just showed up
like
Huh.
and played.
Maybe that was a message that maybe you gotta look at it for some reason. Maybe there's a message in there or something.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, but it came up through my surround sound, and I'm wondering how is that possible?
I'm dealing with a breakup. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Bailey.
Wow.
You know, the best way to avoid breakups is to not get involved in the first place.
Oh, she's dealing with a breakup. I am so sorry. You know,
send
you know
send
what?
hugs, babe.
The best thing, Bailey, for you to think about is yourself right now.
Take a break.
Yep.
Take a little time out. Get to know you. Amber, how are you doing? Amber's Paper World. Get to know you.
Amber in the house.
And don't worry, Bailey, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry about them knuckleheads out there in the street.
I'm with Hill.
Oh, hey, Cass. I didn't see you in there. Nobody told me you were here. How you doing, Cass?
Nobody told
Nobody
you.
said anything about her being here. Nobody said hello aloud to her or anything, so I didn't know she was in here.
So we're gonna go one more time, just for a couple more minutes with the spirits, because I'm sorry, spirits. I didn't mean to disrespect.
Have a
just-
good night, James.
Hey, take it easy, James. Good seeing you again.
It's good seeing you, James. Take care, my brother. We love you. Hope you come back. Keep that notifications on.
I really want to get to the bottom of this whole clock deal. Okay, I want to find out what that was all about.
We're getting ready to it right now. Hey, spirits. Let's talk about that clock.
And we're not talking about Lou Rock's big clock, okay? The clock on the wall at the VA hospital in Bath. Oh, Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. My phone just went off. I dropped my cigarette and everything, just about jumped 10 feet in the fucking air. You fucking be. Woo! Whoever did that, I owe you an ass kicking.
Wow, that was
I say bullshit.
Vault music, of course. He would pick this time to fucking send me a message. Asshole. All right, you can start beating again anytime now. Come on. Ah, scared the shit out of me. I
wow.
threw my cigarette in the air and everything.
I know. I've seen.
Fucking Vault music. Always picking the most inopportune moments.
What I'm getting ready to do now is I'm getting ready to turn the radio bar part off, so they have to try to manipulate to come through.
Right. You're gonna have to do it all original now, spirits. Not being assisted by the radio.
Along with it. Reverse mode activated.
Oh, I know it. It just surprised me when it came on, Christina. Like I wasn't paying attention and it came on and it scared the shit out of me. And I would have to pick the theme to Stranger Things for my ringtone for messages, huh? But anyway. Who was the spirit I saw in my kitchen a few days ago? Alive, your own eye.
Please stop this for a second.
What? Mary, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
There.
Is that live your background? That your oh yeah, I have the what is it called? I have a filter on the blur. I have the blur filter on. Yeah, that's my room blurred out. Walk the doggy. Is that?
Good night, Scott.
Scott, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here.
I asked for a reason because I seen a shadow behind him. Behind me. Here, let me undo that then and see if you see anything else. It's gonna be it's gonna be a mess. There you go. I unblurred it now, so if you see something, let me know. And
Oh,
just be mindful that window, the window behind me, well over here, you will see headlights of cars driving by. So just so
Are you?
I'm doing good.
I guess I'm doing better than you, Bailey. Unfortunately. Sorry about your misfortune, but I'm doing okay, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
we're
find out tomorrow when I talk to VA on my phone and
Right, we're back.
Chris, do you have any last words?
Do you have a message for anyone?
Do you have a message for anyone in the chat?
Can you give me the name of who knocked my, or not mine, but the clock off the wall at the doctor's?
Yeah, can he have a name? Mama of an Angel says, spirits. Who did I see in the kitchen a few days ago?
One question at a time, Shelley. You gotta answer mine first. I gotta know who knocked the clock off.
Mark Hamill was an actor, yes.
Okay.
Oh, you got the reverb on, don't you?
No, it's off. It's off.
Tab.
I
Oh,
turned it
wow,
off.
that was themselves?
Yeah.
Wow,
I turned the radio off.
that was powerful.
So they really manipulated it now to come through.
It's on the web, Eddie.
Yeah. Have a good night, Kristen.
Kristen, have a great day. Get you something to eat. And hey, you can make me a plate too if you get a chance.
Have a good night, Sonny.
You know, I just realized I've been pronouncing her name wrong this whole time. It's Kirsten, not Kristen.
Oh, here's I
The
was saying
I is before the R. I just realized it.
Sunnybrook, have a great night. And we loved meeting you, and maybe we'll interview you one day. You never know. Make sure that you subscribe to us and go on my messenger. And then I may interview you one day.
Oh, that's pretty messed up, Bailey. I'm so sorry you had to go through that shit. Did they not like it sounds ridiculous at this point. Like they didn't know you were autistic in the
Right.
beginning and suddenly they use it as an excuse. That's a low life piece of shit. They don't deserve you anyway, if that's the case. So
Little spirits, I'll let you go. You have a great night. Thank you so much for coming through those at the end. You can't stay in this house, so you have to pay rent. And I need all
Monroe. Carolyn Monroe. That's the name, Christina. How'd you come up with Carolyn? Because as soon as I read that name, I heard Monroe. What's that name for?
Carolyn Monroe.
Yeah, what's the name Carolyn for, Christina? I read the name and immediately they said Monroe. How'd you come up with that name?
And Bailey, hey, you are fine. If he didn't know you were autistic then he was only after you for one thing, and you didn't need him in the first place. So you just keep being wonderful. You like the sun, you're gonna still shine regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just heard. I'm the one in the kitchen.
Mm.
Oh, is that what Christina's doing? Is figuring out who was in Shelly's kitchen? Is that where you came up with the name?
Oh, and the person had autism too.
Wow. That's no
Wow.
excuse though. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
that's still no excuse. You know what? Sometimes, Bailey, you're better off by yourself. You can be bad all by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So you're fine. You don't need no knucklehead in your life. You need
Let's
you.
see. I don't have to figure it out. She's standing here. Figure what out? She want to cross over.
Oh, the chick.
Okay, yes.
Shelly's kitchen.
Oh, that name is the woman, Shelly Soar. You mean Saw? 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 Soar is like,
Okay, she said, okay,
Sort of.
I don't know a Caroline.
Fucking New Yorkers.
Yo,
Anyway.
New Yorker,
I
sweet.
just had to I just had to make sure what that name was all about because as soon as I saw you put the name in the chat,
Mhm.
Monroe came to mind. As soon as I started asking questions about it, I heard I'm the lady in the kitchen. She didn't know where else to go.
Wow. Yeah, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're if you hear
Christina, look up hit and runs in your area. Recent hit and runs within the past few months.
right.
Let's say 6 months. Go back within the last 6 months. Look up hit and runs. Because I'm picking up a woman, possibly mid-30s, victim of hit and run in that area. In her area. Look at I should be telling Shelly to look it up. In her area. She followed you home from the market. Yeah, Shelly, look up most recent hit and run accidents in your area, Shelly, and see if you come up with that name. Carolyn Monroe.
Wow. I know Marilyn Monroe.
Right?
So
I wish I knew Marilyn Monroe.
do I.
She was here and gone before I existed.
Me and you both. As a matter of fact, I think she was gone. Yeah, I guess she died in what? 60. I was born in
I
63.
think 64 or 65, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was
You were
born.
born in 63?
Yes, sir.
Damn, you wouldn't know it with all the dye job on your mustache, huh?
Yeah. That's why I keep dyeing it. I don't want to see my
I
age.
don't look all natural, brother. Yeah.
I look at my brothers and I say, you know what? I'm dyeing my sheet. I'm dyeing this stuff.
uh,
I don't want to be reminded that I'm
yeah,
60.
because she said she was a neighborhood woman in Shelley's neighborhood. Okay. Yeah, boomer. And that person left me for a friend of mine. Oh, that sucks. Hey,
Oh,
look, my wife left me for her sister's husband, so I can relate. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
yeah. Bailey, like I said, God
You
will,
deserve better,
if
babe.
you believe in God, he'll bring the right person to you. If you
Or at
believe,
least some higher power.
right, if you believe in the universe, you know, something will come to you.
Mhm.
The universe will bring the right person. I believe in that. I believe in the universe. So I'm not going to say there's people that don't believe in God. I'm not going to disrespect anybody and say that and say do that. But I will say universe because we create our own universe. So it's whatever.
Christina, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off again, but fresh in my mind so I don't forget.
Mhm.
Um, they're pronouncing it to me as Caroline. Caroline Monroe.
That's crazy. Well, I do hope everybody had a good night. But it's now time for us to bring this one to a close. So we will be back again next week, God's willing, or if the universe allows me. We'll have another session and we'll have another guest. You never know who it is. I want to thank Boomer D for coming. We really do appreciate you.
My pleasure.
And I want to thank everybody in the chat for being here. We have nothing but love for you. And we appreciate you all. I want you all to put your links in the description box before you leave. Put your link in, go by, show each other some love, because that's what we're about. And I just want y'all to do me a favor and remember this. The day will soon be history, and tomorrow's just a mystery. So we got to live and make good for the present. So until next time, we love you all and stay blessed. Have a great
Much
night.
love. Keep it real.